good people.
Heinous.
Which one of these
hippies
fuckers are
dead.
the good people?
I don't know. Aggy's
Name
there.
3.
Aggy.
Alright, hi
Halls.
Aggy.
Gumpsy.
Yes, you know, yeah, it's 3. You got it.
Wallet.
No, you're only allowed to name 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I said name 3.
There's more.
We have limits.
Are there?
You can only have a gold, silver, and bronze medal.
The rest of y'all get participation trophies. Congratulations. And now you all know Aggy is Cheru's favorite child.
What? I think. That's not what you said. That's not what I said.
No, I don't know. Roll back the tape.
That's what I'm saying.
The good people in chat.
And the first person who came to mind was Aggy.
And to be fair, out of sight, out of mind, they wrote things in chat, and I was like, oh, they were a good person. I just called them out as I saw them. I'm like a baby. If I can't see it, it's not there.
Oh, fuck.
Yet you can
Object
visualize
permanence
things
is for the
perfectly in your
weak.
head.
I'm not constantly thinking of Rocky Reels inside my mind at all times. What are you talking about?
Definitely not.
Of course not.
Who would ever do that?
Zen, don't get mad. Zen, please. No object
get-
permanence?
mad.
No, I
That's what I'm
do.
saying.
But hi, hello everyone. Welcome to Ace Attorney live dub. Number
It's okay,
goes there.
Zenlita. You're still Connor's favorite person.
It's true.
Yay. That threw me off so
Maybe
hard.
a
What
bit
was I even
biased.
doing?
You were doing the intro.
Yay! Maybe I should drink the energy drink.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
I was gonna say save it for break, but you know.
Who did that? What? Wait, no, I didn't see the name.
I was there back during
Bromson.
the first Ace Attorney
Bromson?
attempt that's lost to time. Thank you for doing it again. It's even better.
Aw,
Simplithrone.com.
thank you for snipper clips. I always wanted to play that game. It looks so
game's rules.
cute. My throne is popping off lately. Thank you guys, by the way, for that. But
First the chair.
Bromson, thank you. Huh?
I said first the chair, then the Snorlax and all this.
Well, they didn't get the Snorlax. Someone just asked to put the Snorlax on the list. Yeah. I said, okay. I don't know who asked for the Snorlax plush to be added to the list, but we were looking at it the other night, and all of my friends are like, oh, they're gonna get the giant one. And I go, no, they're not getting the giant one.
They're gonna get the giant one.
The Arcanine already takes up like 1/4 of my room.
All right, and the
but you
Snorlax
could
can take
sleep
it
on
the other
Snorlax.
3/4.
I don't want to sleep on the Snorlax. I want to sleep on my
The
bed.
room belongs to this Pokemon now.
No.
1/4 Arcanine, 3/4 Snorlax. I like where this is going.
The only life-size one that I would buy is a Charizard, okay? Because I'm a sucker. It's written on my forehead. I know it is. But I have only one love, okay? And I love me Charizards.
I'm just trying to imagine the logistics with like those wings
good-ass
and the
Pokemon.
tail, and I'm like, that plush is gonna be a nightmare.
It is. And then, you know what? It's fine. I lived with something like that for several years of my life. Back in high school, I made maybe a half-size version of a Charizard, like an actual giant. It was maybe about, how tall was it? It was about 3 or 4 feet tall. And it was a sculpture. It was this giant ass Charizard sculpture made out of good old paper mache. And everyone always wanted to hit it with a baseball bat because they're like, it's a giant piñata, and I'm like, no.
Mad rude.
But in 2012, my house got flooded, and my bedroom used to be on the first floor, and we got flooded. Poor Charizard didn't make it out unscathed. So I did the best ending I possibly could give him.
You released your Pokemon.
Lit him on fire.
I brought out a baseball bat and I whacked him with it. Look, everyone
True
wanted to
Viking
do it.
funeral.
All right. So yeah, I smashed him. Wasn't satisfying as much as you think it would have been, because everyone was like, a pinata. No, it was pretty solid in there. Forgot about that. Yeah. But anyway, Ace Attorney. Yeah. Last trial. We're on it. I don't know where we're in it. I forget. It's been like a week or two. Sorry for the break last week.
February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
Right. So what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all...
Wait, isn't that you?
No, that's
No,
Lana.
Oh. The victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes.
Lana!
Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed.
I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning.
We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though.
So, how'd it go?
It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain.
Plea bargain? What do you mean by that?
We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't see capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma.
But, Lana, don't tell me you...
Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are.
Ms. Sky,
Hmm?
we found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belonged to Officer Jake Marshall.
What kind of trace evidence?
Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall?
We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky?
Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright.
February 24th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9.
Which one of you is in time zone CST?
Me?
Right here.
You're 1 hour behind me, right?
Yes.
It's 8 right now for you?
It is 8:25.
8:25.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Are you going to elaborate?
Yeah.
No.
Well, all right.
Okay then.
I feel like that's a threat. I'm gonna go get something
Just-
ready.
Information for the sniper to get in position.
Oh, that's all you need? Wait, who's the judge? Was it me or Sean?
You.
Was it? Word is now in session for the trial, Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is...
I'm afraid you have to clarify.
It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time.
That's not physically possible, is it?
We haven't opened the case yet.
What's more, I heard the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Are you on auto?
Emma?
Emma's
What?
slurping.
Huh?
You didn't reach a line. It just went off.
I did read it.
No, you
Oh,
didn't.
you
None of us heard a word.
Oh
Oh, that line's gone forever.
and the body was found in the car of Edward's car. The
Edward's shitty car.
It was found in the square hole.
Oh no.
The slurping wasn't even me. I don't even know who that was.
I thought it was you.
It was
No.
me, sorry.
It's just instead of Emma reading her line, she has like a big gulp from 7-Eleven full of I just. Yep.
That was the word the judge is drinking this slushy.
That wasn't even me.
Wow. This is one messed up trial.
You can say that again.
Oh. Not even 20 minutes into it.
One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself.
And
That's his sex life in a nutshell.
I was. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Really?
Ugh, very well. Let the trial resume. Idiots on display. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand.
For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department.
I'm taking my headphones off.
Huh? Why?
Wait, what? What's wrong?
It's Captain Megaphone. He's here.
Oh,
He's
all
here,
right.
my guy.
The suspect? You mean a so-called murderer?
Right, I remembered I can just mute the stream.
Y'all just missed your fucking lines? Hello?
What do you mean missed?
It just went on its
You
own.
were in control of this.
Yeah.
No, it's an auto scene.
Oh,
Sneezing.
we thought you were just speeding through. We didn't know.
No!
Can I declare a mistrial?
Quick, load the save. Start over.
Normally I catch that, but I fucking like concussed myself.
Wait, what? Oh, well, all right.
February 24th,
I was about to
9:41
write down a
a.m.
line for
District
him.
Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
The salty run back.
What was that screen for? Some drop?
Doesn't matter.
Oh shit.
I'm okay.
What happened?
Yeah, y'all didn't hear something.
I heard Cheru scream, but like Cheru doesn't need a reason to scream.
Yeah, but
Out of your chair?
What the hell happened?
I think glass fell.
Don't worry. It's
Okay.
today's going great.
The amount of times we've already said don't worry about it, I'm just looking at everybody like,
Heads up, guys. This is gonna be a short day.
Oh no. What fell?
I'm
Nothing.
holding
Faith in
in
humanity.
all of my sneezes, all of my coughs,
Cheru
and
fell,
staring
that's what
directly at this.
February 24th, 10 a.m. District Court, Lobby number 9.
I swear we did this already.
No, we don't know what you're talking about.
I've been in this place before.
There. Happy?
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
All right, here you go.
Hammer.
Incredible.
Yes, I do not feel the sneezes. I do not feel the death. Oh boy, things are getting wild from the get-go.
There. Are we happy now?
As long as he doesn't have his megaphone, I will be.
Oh, he will.
You know he brought it into the courtroom with him.
And this stream is remaining muted.
Muted? Muted? You can't mute the stream!
It's already been muted for the past 5 minutes.
If you mute it, I will make the megaphone sounds myself.
I'll mute you.
Oh,
At least I'm not
Now
stupid
for the
enough
time-
to just deafen myself this time.
That was funny.
it's like, yes, I'm going to deafen myself. Goodbye.
He still hears it.
He still hears it.
You sat there
Why
for
don't I
a
still hear the
second.
game?
I can hear it, but now I don't hear anybody else.
A true fate worse than death.
Mr. Insecure, thanks for the 500 bits. Cheru is feeling the pain of an updated autopsy report.
Cheru is feeling the pain of an updated autopsy report.
Now that the time dilation is over, will the witness please state his name and occupation?
And place his state.
And
place his state.
Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is that would be murderer, sir.
I love Meekins.
I'm so fucking good at murder.
Oh.
Fucking, I gotta deal with this guy. So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it.
Oh, stop yelling, please.
Kill anyone again, sir. You're not gonna believe me, sir.
So I'm gonna let you know, I had to grab something across my room and I still could hear you. Good job. Keep it up.
It's me. I'm the loudest.
Yeah, we like
sir,
to...
I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir.
I'm a zoomer. We just zoom all over the place.
I'm a zoomer.
Yeah.
I kill for fun.
I kill for
understand the
fun.
youth these days.
A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. How do you do, fellow children?
Please, Edgeworth, sir, please get him to stop. It fucking hurts.
Officer Meekins,
Yes, sir.
give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order.
Yes, sir. As you wish. After all, I am part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir.
Oh, fuck off.
You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm, I guess.
I'm crying. I'm fucking crying.
Oh.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, and then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Gum something.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you?
Do unto others before they do unto you! That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see. Do you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness?
Yes, sir! He knocked me upside the head, sir!
That's...
He didn't hit you hard enough.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
On that?
Look, man, he keeps screaming and it makes my ears are bleeding. I can only take so much.
All I need here is more info to work with.
I really hope this is the shortest case.
We're gonna have to press everything.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day.
Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir! I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir!
Yeah. Now there's a scary thought.
Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir!
Oh, the Blue Badger. Sorry, it was
Yes,
eating
sir!
the
The
pizza.
lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir! I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir!
It's so cute.
You look better in purple.
I see. Sounds like a very important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. Then I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room!
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room.
Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room!
In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card. Am I correct?
Precisely, sir! I have one here, right around my neck!
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right?
Alright, so about that. Listen. There it is! I found it! This is the one right here!
Why did I unmute it?
Oh, could you please read the number?
Oh,
With
it's not
the
that
microphone.
bad.
Yes, sir! It's 4989596! That's my number, sir!
I think I've heard music with worse things in it.
True.
I see. Uh-huh. But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice.
Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir! Listen. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And then the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see. So it's during that second time when...
Yes, sir! That is when I spotted the man on the security screen!
Data added to the ID card record.
I was only doing what I was trying to do, sir! I was suddenly attacked!
So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir! A knife!
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's when I reacted, sir! I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him! That's how I got this gash on my hand!
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be...
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked! I grabbed the man by his collar! I fought for my life! And then I did it!
What exactly do you mean when you say, did it?
I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him!
You took his knife.
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver! I made sure to close my eyes like a man!
See?
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then the next thing I knew...
Yes?
He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
About what time did you regain consciousness? Throw the badge at him.
How do I get out?
Please speak into this badge. No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh. Right.
According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
That's nice. Oh, that's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is.
Are you sure we should have taken this away from Arcolf, though? This is... When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned to the engine before things got out of hand.
Well, I can all rest easy now.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir. Take a look at this! It was sent to my jail cell! Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir!
The chief?
Delivered it?
What is that? A videotape?
I believe they call it a VHS, sir! Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir! A videotape, sir! It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room!
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. And it was told it had been mistakenly erased.
That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever.
Well then, let's have a look.
So realistic.
Oh, I thought it was me. Show us the video of your murdering the victim. I thought it was Meekins could have showed him.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
You called yourself a murderer.
A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into?
Let's buckle up and watch this snuff film, everyone.
Right.
It's a fucking horror movie.
$3D model?
DS.
The power of the DS.
Bro, this VTube studio scene's crazy.
Something fell out of the locker when he opened it.
Oh, he's gonna get you. He's gonna get you.
Oh, he looks so menacing there.
I'ma get you. Oh my god! He fucked him up!
Ooh.
Meekins got fucked up!
It's gonna pan back over. Okay.
Where'd he go?
He ran past the fucking persona there. His handprints on it.
He's dead. He died.
Oh, not Meekins, the other guy.
Yeah, he's on the ground, dead.
Meekins
Was he? I didn't see him.
Yeah.
Meekins got hands, dog!
Ah, I see. Meekins updated the autopsy report on it.
He's so
I kind
proud
of
of
want to watch
himself.
it again because I was not paying
Oh, don't
attention to the
worry.
fight scene.
Oh, don't
Plenty
worry.
of
You'll
opportunity.
get to multiple times
Yay!
and won't be able to skip it.
Yay!
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing.
You know what time it is.
I do know what time it is.
How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir!
Don't let Gumshoe hear you say that.
He's
You
in
know
the
he's already
stands
heard it.
crying right
Yeah, he's
now.
crying. He was in the middle of cutting up the confetti.
Yeah.
Stop.
He's crying. It's the Blue Badger, sir!
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly?
Security video added to the court record.
Yes, well, anyway.
I'm enjoying this. This is dumb.
Aw, this trial's great.
It seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in that weird blue thing this weekend at Eddie's fucking monster.
You missed your line, Goomba.
Oh.
Now we have to go back all the way from the beginning.
Reload the
Absolutely not.
save! Let's go!
I mean, if we do get to watch the video again.
Oh, we're gonna watch
You're
it
gonna get
a
to
lot,
watch
I
the
have a
video again
feeling.
anyway.
Bite the dust, though!
It's fine.
Killer Queen has no weaknesses.
Killer Queen has no weakness.
I'm not actually restarting. Continue.
I've got the missing line.
Read the line, Goomba.
Oh, where is it? Sorry.
It's
Down.
a
Starport.
Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room and some sort of activity did take place. Yeah, someone got stabbed. That's the line.
Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir, as you wish, sir!
Oh boy.
God.
His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprints to do.
Not if something was blocking it.
The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him! No one else could have unlocked it!
Something fell out when he opened the locker. So I'd say something had it blocked open.
It was gloves. What's this about a fingerprint?
Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to.
Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. But it'll be fun, I swear.
His face can't be clearly seen in the video.
Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife?
So, sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I'd be classified as the latter?
The latter? You were standing right in front of him, were you not?
Well, to the point, you're the person who fought him, aren't you?
Would you really have called that a fight? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when they're talking with them.
Mood.
Yeah, I kind of don't make eye contact sometimes. It's kind of hard.
I maintain eye contact at the point of discomfort for the other person.
Same.
Make them look away. Like, oh,
Yeah, it's a power play. They have to blink.
Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
Still, I'm sure it was him! I bet my badge on it!
Oh,
I
that
will
seems to
take
be
an eye and just stare until the conversation's
There's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir.
But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face.
Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it.
Since his face couldn't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Fuck you.
Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing, or...
Meekins?
The little chicken
Having been
yelp.
having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir!
You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him.
I mean, he opened the locker, which requires Detective Goodman's fingerprints to do.
About these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
No, sir! I myself have tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
He's like snooping, like, ooh, can I open this locker?
He's
How about now? How about this way?
He's dummy checking all of them.
I wonder what kinds of methods he's tried.
The man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints. Excuse me. Then he must be the person the lock was assigned to.
Exactly my point, sir! And this too! He just flips off the camera. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir!
How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir!
What? People in the know?
The workers in the department cafeteria, sir! They keep me informed! They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
For the record, the opened locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source.
So the victim opened the lock with his own fingerprints.
So it must be him! No one else could have unlocked it!
However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir! If I may say something, sir?
Please do. After all, you're the one being examined. Please don't scream into your thing.
That's what you're here for.
I don't understand why the man's face was so important in this case, sir.
What?
I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir! My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir!
Don't be a baby.
But did you die, though?
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie.
The
The footage doesn't lie.
I'm so angry at this. Why is his face important? We can point out the murderer, you dipshit! Okay, he got stabbed. What does he look like? Oh, I would be screaming if I was at this fucking trial.
Oh, I love this. Goomba's getting angry for me.
You think he wasn't before?
I was so silent. Okay, this is dumb. It's fine. What does his face matter? Oh, you dumb motherfucker. Oh, yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie.
That is... unless the defense can find a problem with it.
Is he asking us to? Please find a problem. Please find a problem.
I mean, let's be real. Phoenix has a problem with a lot of things that are happening right now.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again.
I mean, Edgeworth hates being surprised with evidence he wasn't told about, so he probably wants to find something wrong with it.
He's in a bad mood.
This is stupid.
Is there a problem with the security video? Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains a contradiction?
Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video.
He would want me to point it out.
I just want to see Meekins get his ass beat again.
Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence.
I like that Edgeworth hasn't been a dick about this time. He's just like, help. Help. I have to do my job, but help.
Arcolf really like...
Okay.
Literally, every time he pulls up the megaphone, punch him in the face 4 times.
I will now play the security tape personally. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of.
I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
And the last.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up for you. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing.
Please don't play it too many times! I can't stand watching this video.
We're gonna play it
I've got some bad news for you, buddy.
How did this guy ever become a police officer?
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man not... Oh.
They wheel out the TV like in school, like when they play a movie in school,
Yep.
on the big fucking stand with wheels.
Given the time period, that's probably exactly what they did.
Wait, the light on Goodman's locker is already on. That means it's already open.
Yeah.
I just want to watch the fight.
Also, John.
Hi.
Every time Meekins uses that megaphone, he gets marked with a tank buster.
Not
a
Tank
out. And pause it.
Nope. Oh, he really does get his
Being
shit blocked.
perfectly blocked the entire time.
That's what I was staring at the
The
first time around. I was like, the
comedy.
Bart
Meekins?
Simpson ass.
Meekins really does get, like, perfectly teched the entire... He gets command grabbed. Like,
You don't see that Goodman guy at all after the fight.
Well, he's dead. He's on the floor.
What?
No,
No,
don't
the
see
man.
his body on the floor.
Yeah, he's gone.
I can't
he's
believe
just gone.
Goodman really tiger dropped Meekins.
He fucking beat the fuck out of Meekins and left.
Cheru's just gonna replay him getting his ass kicked over and over again.
The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Sir! Do you mean me, sir?
You are strange, but no. As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. Oh god, why is it? When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released.
Yeah, see, he's got a picture of a lady there.
Aw, cute.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture.
I love the blue badger. Look at him. He's so happy.
Let him go.
Iconic ass.
What a marketable plushie.
No
His hand was sharp. Hold on.
Yeah, his nails were fucking peaked.
He doesn't
Also,
even
watch
need it,
something
man.
falls out when he opens it.
When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker... let's rewind to a little earlier. You can't do it fast. It has to do it really slow.
Oh, he does have sharp nails. I never noticed that.
Very sharp. Here, notice the light?
What's this? It's already lit.
What now?
Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle.
The little chicken noise.
It's really good.
Order! Order! What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked.
Oh, I know. It must have broken down.
Oh.
We're just blocked by something.
Of
It's really
course.
easy to bypass those locks.
Yeah. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. Florio can do it. Just get some tape.
Yeah, I mean, hell, people open doors with fucking credit cards. It's not difficult.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. It's easier with old doors. That's not likely, Your Honor. That sensor would detect and report any malfunction.
Oh well, it's just a show novice should. It just goes to show novices should keep their mouth shut. Fucking harsh on my vibe over here, man. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honor?
Yes, you. Why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
You're gonna ask the underage child, who shouldn't even be here.
That hasn't stopped me from doing it before.
Uh-oh.
And there goes the
Something
suit.
fall over again?
Don't worry about it.
A bowl.
Huh? Oh, maybe something like, jammed the system's sensor?
Something jammed the sensor. Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video.
Yeah, I thought so too.
How are you in here?
There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage.
Very well. Let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out the cause for this.
I mean, something
Cheru
fell out
is so
when he opened
happy.
it.
It's the glove.
Yeah.
Cheru is so happy she gets to watch Meekins get fucking tiger dropped again.
Body.
Glove would be detected as an issue, though.
I can't believe that's just Chip Zanuff right there walking to the locker.
Opens, falls out. Frame by frame, this bitch. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier.
Zero out of 10, no music.
Do, do, do,
True.
do, 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 do.
You know, was this something white fell out of the locker? Every time I
White?
play, I think of Ice Cream Man.
But sir, it's
Same.
been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir.
You opening it while you're moving? Motherfucker!
My man tucks and rolls.
He's like, I don't have brakes in my car that works, sir. I have to fucking bail every time.
My front bumper is a mess, sir.
My pedestrian kill count is in the thousands, sir.
Y'all say that. I like to think he literally grabs onto the car door and just like shoves his foot into the ground. Like the Flintstones trying to slow it down.
Flintstones mobiles that shit.
Oh, wait, this man. Oh, sorry.
We can't be sure that that item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted?
Ayo!
Do, 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 do. I didn't need someone else doing it with me, cause you aren't even with my beat.
Oh, this
just
white
wild.
thing that wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir.
But it's tucked in.
wait. Okay, I can't get to that line, unfortunately. But so wait. His tie gets caught in the door, but he tucks and rolls out of his fucking vehicle.
No,
Wait a minute.
You know what? He's not.
There's a line.
He hasn't hurt anybody, but he's fine. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. My tie chokes me. Oh shit.
So the door closing, my tie chokes me.
Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents.
Rubber glove.
It would need to be an insulator.
Rubber glove, yeah.
Insulator.
Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene.
There just might have been something that fits the description.
But sir, by insulator, you don't mean...
I think I finally got this figured out.
Very well. Will the defense present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door?
Telling the platypus, behold the might of my insulator!
The insulator!
I completely forgot what we picked up at the crime
The
scene.
glove.
The rubber glove.
Get the glove.
Oh, I was drawing a complete
Extremely
blank.
thin rubber glove.
From the DL6 incident.
Wee.
It's spin.
Zipping.
Spin!
Spin to win.
I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove.
Well, we can't be sure that that was in the victim's locker.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this.
Cross-examine the lamp.
On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir? It would appear so, sir!
Order! Order, shut the fuck up! Are we to believe that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir! Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh! You mean that, sir? Of course, sir!
Is this a joke?
Very well, begin your testimony!
I'm
Jesus
being paid
Christ,
so many
man.
animal crackers. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective used his card.
An ID card record. I see.
Oh.
Welcome back.
I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim.
Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why are there so few people using this room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference.
His hair's always standing.
There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon.
Right, I see. Now, let us move on to the cross-examination.
There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir.
So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you?
Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir.
Couldn't he just use his right hand for that?
Let's hear him out fully. The worst mistake ever said. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second.
room, one must use their ID card.
Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards?
Yes, sir! This card right next to my cuff, sir! I keep it here so I won't ever forget it.
But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that?
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me.
Maybe I should just leave this one alone.
At any rate, each police officer only has one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecution's office can attest to this.
Please proceed with your testimony.
When an ID card is used, there's a record of it.
Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that will be it. Detective Goodman.
What's the matter?
According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here.
He bows.
So it is, Your Honor. Yep.
Prosecutor again.
Maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor can hide the evidence.
Oh, shut up.
Stare at him.
You got the wrong color, kid.
Pelt him!
This man in blue a murderer.
It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again.
I have nothing to be ashamed of.
Okay, it's gone.
For now, let us continue with the cross-examination.
Regarding his actions or his consequences.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. Skipping his lines. It must be so difficult for him.
At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. I swear, I promise.
Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you.
Yes, sir! He didn't show me any ID card, sir!
Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all you had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife.
Maybe he just panicked!
Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out.
Mr. Wright, what do you think?
He's a fucking idiot. I'm confused.
What?
Didn't Goodman submit a lost item report? Could that be for his ID? Because Gumshoe mentioned he loses his ID all the time.
Maybe.
The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this.
You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got.
It's all I do!
There's one other thing that proves the man is Detective Goodman, sir.
Alright, so which one are we presenting on?
I want to do the lost item report, mostly because I want to know more about it. And I have a hunch it's for the ID card.
Which would have been, I think, the next one, where it's like, it has to be Goodman. Here's the proof. Him stinky. Yeah.
Why did he?
Because
he didn't even finish writing out his ID.
Correct.
I wonder if he couldn't remember it.
Yeah, he couldn't remember it.
Alright, so...
I'd say put it here.
There, on that last one?
I would think so.
Yes.
And you want this?
Yes. I have a hunch it's for his ID card.
Wait
Especially
one
because
moment.
the ID's not fully written there.
Wait one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not good at waiting, sir.
I've noticed. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
A lost item report? It's only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report.
Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right?
I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On
Yeah.
it cuts away from Edgeworth.
As a can falls over slightly.
Everything is
Sorry.
falling tonight.
I dropped my can of Bang.
My Surge Cola, no!
You also had Bang? Hedgeworth, we have so much in common.
He has so much in common. Twirls hair around finger.
What flavor is yours?
Connor?
I think she's
I
asking
have a
how
special-
you bang, Edgeworth.
I have a special supply of the what was it, the unicorn one? I forget. I don't know.
Oh dear God. How are you alive? You like that one?
Spite. I live out of spite.
Connor? You like the unicorn one?
It was okay. It was really sweet.
Yeah, I was gonna say the unicorn one is like one of my least favorites, so I'm impressed if you're a fan of it. It is sweet.
I've only ever had it the once though.
Cotton candy one is really good if you want sweet but not like overwhelmingly too sweet. It's like that, just it hits the limit, right? I just finished Citrus Twist yesterday, and then I have a root beer Bang down below downstairs in my fridge.
Ooh, root beer?
Yeah, root beer. They make root beer for Bang.
Honestly, that sounds kind of...
You're better off probably, I would suggest just getting normal root beer instead of it, but like...
I see.
But like, it's not bad. It's not bad. Champagne is one of my favorites. Cotton candy. There's a couple others, but...
I like the cherry lime one, and the black cherry vanilla one's also pretty decent.
Ooh.
I haven't seen cherry limeade.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. I'm a big fan.
I haven't seen one of those for Bang yet. I've gotten it with others, like Ghost Energy Drinks makes that, and it's like my favorite flavor, but...
On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought.
Oh, maybe I have seen it.
The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order! 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 Does the prosecutors have a response?
No.
Nope. I only have one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Bravo?
Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, The man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are 2 grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yes. What's he up to?
Foo 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 foo. That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder.
Oh, Edgeworth is happy because this makes Lana the prime suspect again. Sneaky motherfucker.
That is... Well, I guess that's right.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
Smug motherfucker.
Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around.
Yeah, he's like, oh, thanks.
Like I am right now.
This isn't going to end well.
Well, well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth.
The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place. At the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime.
So
the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
You got played.
I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? Where did this person disappear to? However, the trial's purpose is examining only the murder of Detective Goodman.
Just so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana...
Will be found guilty.
What do I do?
Object.
How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess?
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
What are you talking about?
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder.
Do 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 do.
We go again.
Do 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 do.
My face hurts.
Do 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 do.
However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor?
If this court were to examine this further, a witness would be necessary. Other than yeah. You know what I said. Is the prosecution prepared?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident.
This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Mr. Wright, do you mean?
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh, who do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name. Before deciding whether or not to comply.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person who you would have testify. What is her name?
Detective Gumshoe.
I think it's this guy. He looks like a cowboy to me.
So resurrect Goodman.
He's got a hat. That's all you need to be a cowboy.
It's Emma. Call her to the stand. She's a criminal.
Officer Jake Marshall.
Damn it. Why him?
I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while this witness is subpoenaed.
Peanut. Yeah.
Peanut.
It was written weird. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this trial?
We will, Your Honor.
Court is now in recess.
Where's the jungle gym?
Had to get out of here. It was rustic. It was dangerous.
February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2.
There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What do you mean?
Called for Jake Marshall. Seems we've figured everything out.
I haven't figured anything out.
Anna. You're the one who knows everything!
Poor Caitlin sounds like she's underwater.
Do I? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that
I'll
later.
I'll get my computer back eventually.
Oh, you're still on your laptop?
Yeah, my computer's not here yet.
Curse those moving trucks. Wow, they really
I
are
know.
slow. That was
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You don't always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you.
I don't recall ever asking for his protection.
How can you
be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around all day while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals.
I'm sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky!
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
You mean this, right?
He's so energetic. I don't even do anything. He just goes through his own shit.
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances. I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name?
Never in a million years would I have thought that it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I need them by noon. Talk about crazy.
The SL9 incident?
But, Lana, that's...
I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here. You might do well to read them.
I can't believe you. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe it.
I can't believe this.
Ms. Sky was a witness?
SL9 incident files received from Lana Sky.
Have fun reading all of that in 20 minutes.
It's like... oh my god.
Hope Phoenix is a speed reader.
Oh, I am.
Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me?
Emma? But why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this is the SL9 incident. Is that... You know, the one?
That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings.
The Joe Dark. No. No, Lana! That's over with. No!
Emma, wait! She ran away.
You know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here.
Dives through the wall. Go talk to Edgeworth. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Eamon Gantz, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago.
He thinks maybe we should look at the court record.
This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
Am I literally reading this in court? Oh god.
Yes, you are.
Oh, God. I'd better take a good look at this file.
That is not a pile to squeeze at either. My goodness,
No.
that's a lot.
I hope you know how to skim read while listening to information being pelted at you forcibly to throw your person in jail permanently for murder.
No!
That's it.
I'm autistic! No! You can't do this to me!
I'm being overstimulated. This is again.
Why
It's
is
too
that
real.
funny?
It's too real.
Because it's true.
It's too
February
fucking real.
24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9.
I feel like I do it all the time when my mom's having a conversation with me, so I'll be okay. But I left!
Okay, weird. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
Emma didn't come back.
Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Wow.
Walks into court, immediately upturns alcohol.
Don't worry.
You're
Don't worry, prosecutor. It's just Listerine.
It's even worse.
This
Taking
is
a-
my
taking
special
a page
flask
out of
of
Coach
hot
Z's
dog
book.
water.
Oh God, no, that's even worse.
Now that's just degradable.
Me, partner? Well, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization.
It's vinegar, pussy.
Fucking paint thinner.
This juice is banging, yo. That's paint, asshole.
It just makes me think of the old man eating paint, thinking it was yogurt.
Oh God,
Kind
yeah.
of like, I hope he's alright.
He's probably dead now. Let's be real. That picture was like 10 years plus years ago.
Oh, true. Ripping pepperoons.
Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out.
You.
To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before.
First time for everything.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is that correct?
According to the papers, partner.
What do you mean?
A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
Maybe it's best we go on with this quickly. I'm fucking surrounded by idiots.
Your loss.
Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain English.
My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon the time it went down.
Oh my God.
I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
Ugh.
Didn't I say English? I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
I can't say I particularly care for your bald head, but here we are. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
I was gonna
I
say.
don't like a lot of things about you, partner.
Wow.
Directed right at Arcolf.
Damn, he said fuck your beard and fuck your bald ass head.
Hey, Arcolf.
Uh-huh.
Fuck you.
Wait, what?
I deserve that.
Well, that escalated quickly.
For what?
Alert. Take defensive position. We are being raided.
Dave, thank you for raiding with a party of 9. Hello.
Howdy, y'all.
Arcolf just like, I deserved it for nothing at all.
Jesus Christ.
I hope you had a good stream. Get a shout out for Crikey Dave. Pretty please.
Wait a minute.
There you go.
What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. And that rope I left by the door. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers.
Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
Oh. He's not being very helpful.
He's not that good with machines or following orders.
I ain't no Donatello. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
Oh, this one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
Really?
You got time for this.
You're doing this to me again?
The judge has
Okay.
just given up. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard.
Ew.
How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room?
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings.
You interred them?
Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape.
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are usually erased every 6 hours.
Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good.
That ain't the spelling of flair you're supposed to use, partner.
If you're not in my head, get out of here.
In
So-
your head.
In actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room?
They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style.
But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No desperado I know lets rules get in his way.
You are a cop? No desperados
anarchist cop.
I know
Yeah,
join
exactly.
the police force.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime,
Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
there was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that?
Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks.
Oh, you... How does this guy avoid being fired?
They try, I hold him at gunpoint. Besides, the rooms are protected by 2 security systems anyway.
Oh,
Besides, the rooms are protected by 2 security systems anyway.
You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Of course, back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence.
And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism?
Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's why I ride horse everywhere.
Quite, incredible, honestly.
The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too.
At any rate, it doesn't seem that it's relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place?
If I remember right, I was in a street side saloon the time it went down.
I'm half tempted to do something really evil, but I'm not.
Do it.
Do it.
But I don't know how exactly I would do it.
What were you doing in a place like that?
Actually, no, I think I do.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do
Do
it.
it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Evil?
Do it.
Can you see all of me?
Walk into my... Fuck is back again. God damn it.
Oh, wait, I'm an idiot and I just ruined what I was gonna do. Never mind. I'm a fucking moron. Oh, it's fine.
I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel Steak lunches can beat that parlor's Vongole sepia pasta.
Are you Western or are you Italian? Make up your mind. Do you mean to tell... Okay,
Why do
then.
you think it's called a spaghetti western?
Oh, I hate it. I'd never thought about it and I hate it. You abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles?
Because they were made by Italians.
I've never thought
Not all
about it.
desperados eat tacos, partner.
That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson.
Well, I learned a lesson.
That's
all right.
strange.
I learned I should eat more tacos.
This is usually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want to raise this year?"
I'm just an innocent travel man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
Out of ammo, Officer Marshall?
That's right, partner, or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset.
One thing seems clear, despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room. The witness doesn't appear to have seen anything.
Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that.
Apparently, your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante.
My job is to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard.
Alright, so what are we presenting, impressing, and where?
I'm gonna let everybody else decide first.
I would say, I mean, we have the bloody fingerprints.
But
that we
that's
can
the
do
trump card. We can't do that yet. He just said so. We don't want to do that. We want more out of him.
Wait, what was that? Go back. Oh, what the fuck is this?
Where blood was found.
Now go back to the evidence. Go. Yeah, hold up. That one. Go back.
We already used this.
Oh, fuck.
I think you are supposed to use the trump card.
I just said that we needed more. I mean, it's the thing that makes the most sense right now.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Ah. Mhm. Mhm.
I
Oh boy.
feel kind of stupid. I thought you was going through credits.
No. We read all of the Joe Dark stuff. Woo! Hold up.
It's a speed reader.
Hint.
So no, because he wasn't there, he wouldn't have seen the video. I actually do not remember what this jar is.
It was smashed on in the room.
Check our two security systems anyway. Yeah. He never went in, so that doesn't matter. I mean, he went in, but he didn't go in as him. So that the record shouldn't matter.
3 rounds a day per day. I'll get bone orchard. Go back to... Remember, I was at Street Sets. Is that Saloon? Yeah. Security systems. You watch the Bone Orchard. You're supposed to check in 3 times a day. Give me the evidence again. All the things. Go over. What's that tonight? Nope. Keep going. Keep going. Tape is what the... Go back to the left. The sign-in thing. You enter the evidence room. Do you have to go through the security to get into the evidence room?
Yes.
I wasn't present, I was just asking.
Oh, sorry. That was my B.
Security cameras. 3 times a day. Something about a saloon, I didn't see that.
That's just him telling you that he's not there, even though he overthinking, brain is stopped.
Wait, have we used that phone?
Yes.
Okay. So there's nothing on this page, probably. 3 times something, he wasn't involved with that. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. At the time it went down.
No, yeah. Well, when Phoenix says I'm not supposed to use this right now, and I'm like,
Don't listen to Phoenix. He's an idiot.
So I'm just like, okay, there's got to be something else. God damn it, game. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd that is you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you drag me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or, to be exact, a handprint.
Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood.
Witness? What's the meaning of this? Your bloodstained fingerprints are at the crime scene?
The blood was wiped away, however. A luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints?
Very well. You may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprints was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated.
What?
Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it.
The witness explanation appears valid, although there's room for more doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room.
That's because you... how did you put it? Pay your respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
Sorry. What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it.
One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint.
So then, what about the bloody handprint?
Wasn't mine, it's no mystery.
God damn it. Please explain.
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened the murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance.
The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated.
You can't just tell me my rationale is wrong by telling me my rationale is wrong and then not explaining.
I just did.
Unrelated?
They're as different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murder.
He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different.
What?
I don't see what homonyms have to do with this.
Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves?
How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
Oh, that's me. There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh, yeah. I think we tried that too.
Mm-hmm. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint.
That's the only logical conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
Yes, you're the murderer.
The picture?
This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this.
Another video. Or the same one. The security tape?
So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner?
It is you. What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner?
Maybe.
If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
So am I when I stare at the sun.
Why are you doing that? Are you a fucking idiot?
No,
You're out in the West. You don't have much else to do.
Hold on, Mr. Wright. He's on to something. He's trying to gain the sun's power.
But I don't think that's how you do that.
Align his chakra. Blind spots.
Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in the video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now.
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have another look at the video. Yo.
I usually I would recommend reading the line while it's typing out.
Yeah, it keeps getting me like.
Yeah.
I started to go. I was about to read it. I took a drink.
Fucking Meekins. Oh Lord.
Wait, are we supposed to point?
Yeah, I know what it is. I mean, I'm waiting for someone else. You like this song, chat?
I just want ice cream.
I don't want ice cream anytime soon. I got a milkshake earlier today.
Was it bad?
No, it was, well, my mom started the car before I could like put it in the cup holder.
No.
And it was on the dashboard and it fell down on me and splattered everywhere.
Understandable. What flavor?
Cookies and cream, Oreo.
Oh, damn it!
Yeah.
Best flavor.
I still had it, but like...
Not enough.
No, it's just more of like, I literally had...
Right here.
Wait. Compared to all the lockers, can you make it go rewind?
Yeah, go back to where the
Go to
handkerchief
the
was.
left. Because the only thing that's sticking out of this, and I'm lacking context because I just got back. It looks like there's some sort of cloth sticking out of that far
There
left
is.
locker on the other side.
At the very end there is.
I was waiting for someone to point it out. You're good.
Yeah. I said stop.
I couldn't.
Oh, so it's at the end of the video.
It's at the end
Yeah.
of the video. It's this pan.
Yeah, I was
he's
wondering why it
gone,
just suddenly
Meekins
vanished.
comes back, and then it's here.
Yeah, cause this is open.
Yeah, right
now.
there.
That's
Yeah.
somebody. That's fucking Jake's locker.
Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers.
That is a lie.
Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
You did it. Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video.
Oh, that locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witness, I believe.
Now then, let's rewind the video a little bit.
Very, very slow.
Closed. Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Oh, excuse me, sorry about that.
You missed your line again.
I almost burped.
God damn it.
It's fine.
Hold your horses and your burps, Judge. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man.
I think this is a good spot for a break. So let's do a 10-minute break.
Yeah, we're found out he's guilty.
I like this song. This is why I want to take a pause here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good song.
The bop and the music.
Oh, wrong chat.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a cute one.
I like that one.
He's a good meme.
I got my dinner.
Ooh, what you got?
Nice.
Bacon avocado club sandwich.
Nice.
Nice.
I didn't get to eat it because of the milkshake.
Aw. Yeah.
And I had to clean the car afterwards.
Yeah.
So tragic.
Well, tragic. What's the best sauce to go with French fries? Fry sauce.
You know, I'm gonna be real with you. I kind of like my fries bare bones.
That's if whoever made them actually put salt on them.
Yeah. Like
Quality.
I only eat like fries with ketchup if the fries are bad.
Ketchup.
Yeah.
Dijon mustard. Fry sauce.
I don't know if it still applies, because they changed their fries. But the original version of Wendy's fries were great with Frosties.
Yeah, they should still be. They made them crispier. They're like okay now. They went from being like really top tier to like, well, you changed them. You didn't need to do that.
The original fries were just fine, but the natural cut sea salt shit is not great.
No, that part didn't bother me. It was they were like, oh, we're gonna crispify them more. But like
Well, that's
before,
what I mean when they changed them.
Yeah.
It was not great.
Beforehand, they had like a good combo of both. Because I like me a good soggy fry and I like me a good crisp fry. I like them both.
They were also really big originally.
I don't like thick fries.
Yeah, shoestring all the way.
Mm.
I think the only fries I don't like are the wedge fries.
I like all potatoes, to be fair, so I'm just biased.
Honestly, yeah.
I think every time I have the big thick fries, someone's like, oh, I got them out of a freezer bag. And they're always like 90% freezer burnt. Every single time.
Well, that's just tragic, because they are good.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Or they make them bad.
I'm back.
I mean, there's just no winning for them.
I tell you what ones are the real hit or miss is the waffle fries.
Yes.
Oh, I don't like waffle fries.
You got my shirt. You got not me. You got your Cheru shirt in today. Hell yeah. Who's that going, by the way?
Let's just talk louder. It's Connor.
It's Connor, you criminal.
I think my favorite type of fry is curly fries.
Curly, yeah.
Echo.
I still hate that Hardee's stopped serving curly fries.
My favorite fry is a sweet potato fry.
What is a sweet potato fry?
Sweet
Just a
potato turned into a fry?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally just sweet potato French fries.
Yeah, they're the best.
Different types of potatoes?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
We're doing it again, ladies and gentlemen.
There's russet potatoes, there's golden potatoes, there's sweet potatoes, there's red potatoes. What else am I missing, guys?
Can a potato just be a
Golds?
potato?
Because the
Arcolf,
stuff
we're gonna kidnap you, and it's just gonna be a foodie trip. I'll have you know.
It depends what a potato's grown and how, really.
You better bring your appetite, because that's all we're doing. We're eating.
Yes.
And I can't wait for everything you to be like, tastes the same or something, and I'll just be like,
I can't taste this.
yeah, and I'll be like, well,
I am
An
so
effort was
sorry.
made.
that's good.
This is not an exhaustive list, but here is a list of potato types.
Yeah, sweet potato fries though are my favorite. If someone has them on their menu, I will absolutely ignore regular fries for them. They're so good.
Wait, yams or potatoes? What?
Yes.
Yeah, they're just called different kind of sweeter.
Honey, the fuck?
I've had purple Peruvians. They're pretty good.
Yams are basically just fancy sweet potatoes, yeah.
Russian banana?
Yep.
I didn't know
This
about
list is
that one.
fucking fiction.
Well, some of
Nope.
them we don't have here very much. They're not common. Russet potatoes are really common. Yukon Gold potatoes are really common. There's a couple others, like red potatoes.
I'm very curious about the Adirondack blue one. Huh.
What? All blue?
The one next
For the
to it.
Adirondack blue.
Oh, and
It's
around.
not just taro. I've had taro.
Taro's very good. It kind of weirdly tastes like popcorn to me.
Huh. Yeah, red bliss. They're common. Everyone just calls them red potatoes.
Yeah, they're just red potatoes.
They're just red.
Red as a potato.
Wait, are they bringing back Spectacular Spider-Man?
No, I think he just has a Spider-Verse cameo.
Yeah, Yukon Gold make great mashed potatoes.
sandwich.
I'll get a drink.
Yep. It's not potato. It's still it's a different root. Yeah. I didn't remember what it was. I just remember it was purple and potato-like. Like a yam or something. I've had taro cake before. It was okay.
Huh. I've had taro pancakes before, and that was also very good. I think that was a Trader Joe's thing, actually.
I believe it. So have you gotten something that you couldn't get on in the other state you were in yet, Caitlin?
It's growing. My little baby town, it's growing a little bit, but no, it's still more or less the same.
Whenever we have a
Welcome
barbecue,
back, Connor.
we would like to wrap sweet potatoes in foil and throw it on the fire to roast it. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm here.
Welcome
back. Was your headset off and on your desk?
It was off and on my desk, apparently.
That would make sense.
This explains a lot.
I needed to recharge.
Well, you have more time to recharge it if you want. Sean's not back. So Sean doesn't have blinds. So I guess I could continue without him. But my sandwich.
Oh, then
Consume
you keep eating your sandwich. I'm gonna run this
Yeah.
bowl upstairs and buy you a little more time.
Eat your sandwich.
They gave me a lot of bacon. I'm very happy.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet bacon.
And I like this song. It'll be great when we get to the other games because they like take the bass music and make it better.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hassle back with potatoes. They take forever to prepare, but it's worth it. Yeah, that's how I feel with hash browns. I make really fucking good hash browns in the morning, or whenever you want to eat them, really. I'll make them at 3 a.m., whatever. But damn, it takes like 20 minutes to get like one order done. It takes forever, but it's so worth it.
Aggie, I'm so glad that you and I were on the same page for that one.
Oh boy, 3 a.m. I haven't made them in a while just because of how annoying it is to like cook them.
It takes forever for prep.
Yeah, like I have to dedicate time for it, and I'm like, I'm really not in the mood to do that.
Like I'm so proud of myself if I actually take the time to, you know, shred the hash browns and all that, shred the potatoes and all that stuff and let them dry. I'm just like, I just want it in my mouth, though.
Oh, I have the frozen pre-shredded already, but like, it still takes 20 minutes to cook them. I'm telling you, it's like.
I'm back.
Yeah, me.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
I was debating on making a burger, but I'll do that later.
Oh yeah, we don't have time for a burger. But I mean, I guess you could do it. Meekins is gone for now.
Meekins is dead.
We only have time for talking about food, not making it.
No making potatoes. Hash browns or Danganronpa? Danganronpa every time.
Who says you don't, what don't you have to wash?
Huh?
Wait, what?
In the chat, you don't have to wash them. Restaurants are for aesthetic reasons.
You don't
What
have
are
to
we
wash-
not washing?
What are we not want?
I guess a potato.
Potatoes.
You have to wash. You absolutely have to wash potatoes. Are you out of your mind?
Wash your
turn.
potatoes, nasty ass.
Wait, you don't have to wash them. Restaurants do that for aesthetic reasons. Wash your hash browns.
Wash your potatoes, dog.
Wait, are you supposed to wash
Hash
your hash
browns?
browns?
Oh,
you shred them.
the starch.
Oh.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
But that's
Okay.
it's to get the starch out.
Okay, yeah. But whew,
The starch has some- Why would you wash them? Starch has some cooked better.
That was my bad. I
it's
apologize.
excess
No,
starch.
I didn't.
Goomba,
I
like,
didn't
too
know what they
much.
were going on either. 100%.
Ah,
I was
no
like,
such thing.
something to do with potatoes, but
I'm saying, if I find out someone ain't washing their potatoes, dirty.
I eat them
Dirty.
straight out of the ground.
No.
Musty.
Raw. Don't even cook them.
I was
Potatoes
about to
are
say.
technically poisonous.
Extra
they
dirt
can.
texture.
I've
I
been
was
to the
gonna say-
hospital many times.
I mean,
I'm
you-
trying to keep my friends out of hospital.
No, I'm kidding. I've never done that.
Been there once, never going
Yeah.
again.
Heads up, if you grow potatoes in your backyard or whatever, and you have pets, I'm looking at people that own dogs. If you have cats that go outside for some reason, don't let them chew the plants. Tomato plants and potato plants are extremely toxic.
Garlic too.
Yeah, don't put netting or something around them. A fence. Don't let them go in there. Don't let them chew it. Not good. Same to birds. If you have a pet bird and you bring like a tomato plant in or a potato plant, don't let them chew it raw or anything. I feel like I've been doing a lot of pet alerts lately. Speaking of pet alerts, if you have an outdoor cat, please, for the love of God, I ain't gonna convince you to keep them indoors, though I'd say keep them indoors. But put a bell around their neck. That's a plea from me. Yep, that's it. That's all I got.
Thumbs up.
Or if you let them outside,
I
give
could
'em
give you a
leash.
sad story that I experienced yesterday, but I'm not going to do that. Just
No,
say
that's
put a
fine.
bell around your cat's neck, please, if they go outside.
Or walk them. Put them on a leash. Not a leash, a harness. That's what it is.
Anyway, let's game.
Christ, the thing that
Gamer.
Aggie just posted. Also, somebody help me remember after stream, I need to run outside and water a couple of flowers real quick.
Yeah.
'Cause I forgot about it today.
I'll scream at you about it because I gotta do that. for my-
Mostly for me, because if I say it out loud, I'll remember better, but also if other people will yell at me, then good.
At midnight, the plans!
Good.
Do you have an alarm? Do you have like a Google
Why?
or an Alexa?
I mean, I can, but I don't know when stream's going to end, and I don't want to be like, oh, I gotta go do the thing.
We usually
Sure.
end around the same time.
Yeah. A little after 1 Eastern.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you gave me a chance to yell at you. I'll remember.
Fine, I will set a timer for 2 minutes, or 2 minutes, God, 2 hours, 25 a minute.
I just want to hear the alarm go off and yell at you.
You won't.
Aww.
It's time to water the plants.
You should change it to volume 100.
Y'all are gonna know the sound my phone makes, and then I'll
Oh,
have
it's
to
a
explain
phone. Okay, never
it.
mind.
Yeah. I don't have any of the Google shit or the Alexas. Have you ever heard me yell at them?
You said yes when I asked if you had those.
No, I didn't.
You all heard him?
All right, we all caught him in 4K, everyone. Midnight Live. He has the off-brand Alexa.
It's okay. Whatever.
Oh,
Let
no,
Alexis do
no,
something.
don't do this. think we're waiting for Luke.
Oh, I said the line before we went to break.
But we're back from break.
Okay, I'll say it again. Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it.
Yes, it does.
The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine.
Bumbling buffoon.
Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker? Now prove it. Fingerprint sensor?
Welcome, cadet, to the
That
cavalry.
thing we totally talked about earlier that I had no idea about?
Oh my god.
We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
Shit, fuck. In any case, the lock's unobvious. There are even some people in the force who don't know about the fingerprint locks.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
I only got one word for you, partner. No!
Order, witness, explain yourself, you fucking idiot.
If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Ole, is that Ole?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is Ole.
I've never seen it written before. Ole! Please answer the question.
What is he now? A bullfighter?
Yes.
That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest. Hold on, brain stopped. I believe we can figure the rest out from here.
You can?
Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet, Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
That's so. Then where was the witness?
I know.
Edward.
Fuck, I was muted. It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right. The only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? He was the K!
He's
Wait.
technically the V because he's dead, air quotes.
He'd be the V because Meekins
Yeah.
approached him from the K spot.
Oh, there was
standing at
representative.
Goodman's locker, which
Yeah.
would be the V.
I was going victim killer, that's what I read.
But in this case,
technically he's the victim in this
Yeah, the
situation.
killer is supposedly Meekins, so...
Yes.
Yeah,
so did he.
Death by megaphone.
Officer Marshall was standing right here.
Megalophonia.
There, but that's what a victim, Detective Goodman, was.
Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
But that's preposterous. Officer Meekin witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
May I point out, God, my brain. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
Also, Ed, Steven, thank you for the 5 months. I heard it before, I just didn't get to say it.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir.
Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond?
He suddenly pulled a knife on me!
Who carries a knife around him?
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID, had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on this ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
You got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it.
You're gonna have to do better than that to break detective. Unless you have our evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
Yeah. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me
Motherfucker.
complaining. Bald head too.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that this bona fide weak-brained idiot is the victim?
Well, oh, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that.
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
Well, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed.
Oh.
You can't just say that to me.
Oh. Oh. Indeed.
I can't believe you would say this on stream, both of you. Censor the gas.
That's how you gasp in Spanish.
Fuck! God damn it, I was drinking.
I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
Since you have no partner, Emma fucking
Basics.
ditched you.
I can't believe you would do this to me.
I can.
Where is Emma?
Who am I kidding? Fair. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Emma got upset because Lana dug up something. Anyway. Caitlin, wanna?
Phoenix, try thinking outside the box.
There's your one line, punk.
Damn.
Can't believe Punk would do this to us.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer
Marshmallow.
Marlboro.
Marble.
Marshmallow.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise,
Marshy.
Marshino.
but rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Berries?
Yeah.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open this locker at the time of the crime.
He was covered in Meekins' blood. He had to hide the shit.
Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Monster dressed up as Detective Goodman at the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Ooh,
What
I
you
heard
drinking
that
there?
pour. Yeah.
What you drinking?
Pouring myself a delicious Coca-Cola.
I just finished mine. I'm thirsty again now.
I'm drinking my root beer bang.
I know you mentioned it was like just get a root beer, but is it like good? Because I don't think that would translate to an energy drink well.
Yeah. I mean, it's still fizzy. Not fine. It's not like I
Fair
got
enough.
gamer subs or something, you know, and it's just like flat water powder.
Alright, alright.
Fair enough. Perhaps.
What? Are you offended by my words, Sean?
I am, because they pay me.
Do they really?
They do.
Hmm.
Are you gonna argue that?
I don't know.
Seltzer water?
Huh?
Couldn't you add that powder to seltzer or sparkling water? Whatever
I
they
use it
call
with
the
a soda
carbonated
stream.
stuff?
Yeah, you can. You can. I don't
You're
have
just like-
a soda stream though.
You're just like, do they? Do they really?
I have the old original one somewhere.
I'm contractually obligated to
All
be
right, all right, all
offended.
right. I have a question. Chat. I don't care about these clowns in call with me. Chat.
Wow.
Wow.
Meow.
All right, everyone except Caitlin.
What?
Hey.
Bro, that is, you know what? That's some real fucking
That's
behavior. I'm telling you.
bullshit.
I don't
That's bullshit.
I
Okay.
I'm not sure what I did.
I'm okay with this.
Wait,
I
why
was
am I
trained
being
as a mime, not a clown.
offended on what question? What's happening?
That's some grade A bullshit.
Where's my grade A eggs? Huh, Goomba?
Ooh!
Anyway,
I mean, you be saying don't send me yet. I don't have in the room. I'm waiting in the wings.
what? Send me eggs. I don't fucking care.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, send them now.
Here they
It's
come,
hot
all at
enough that
once,
they'll
right
cook
now.
on the way
Yeah,
over.
right now, right now.
Crimes has begun.
Do you guys really order from any of those things like Rogue Energy, Gamer Subs,
No.
the other
No,
one?
I don't
She's
drink
not
energy
talking
drinks.
to us.
I'm not talking to you guys. That's what the question for chat specifically was. That's why I insulted you guys. Clowns. Y'all answered, half of you. AKA 2 of you.
I don't drink that
Yes,
garbage.
two
It's
is half
standard.
of eight.
Right?
2 is in fact half of 8. You've heard it here first, folks.
Hold on, hold on. You do Gamer Subs? No. Then my Nightbot goes off. Sorry about Nightbot. In order to do Gamer Subs, use Jones Code. Okay. Never heard of them, actually. The powder energy drink ones. What is it? There's Advanced GG is another.
Yeah.
Gamer Subs is good. No.
Just remembering that G Fuel crossover with Scarlet Nexus now.
You personally don't. You only drink water. I mean, it is water. It just has powder in it. You don't do energy drinks. They're not all energy drinks.
Oh, they're not?
They're like baby energy drinks. Yeah,
Well, because
I wouldn't even count them as energy drinks half the time.
Keto and diabetes friendly. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
What was it? I tried one of those things and it just gave me it tasted good. It gave me a fucking massive headache.
That's
you
also
gamer
true,
fart
Tops.
and melon. Okay, so you drink them. Anything stronger than a
Sugar-free.
sip of 5-hour energy is too much for you? They wouldn't be the equivalent of that at all. You
No.
considered it?
No.
Don't do energy drinks in general. They're not energy
Also-
drinks, really.
Stay away from 5-hour energy. That shit's not good for you.
It tastes
Yeah,
like
no.
it tastes like a sin anyway. I've
Also,
tried
It
it.
is not FDA approved.
I tried it once and I was like, oh god, it was
Well,
the worst
I-
thing. Oh god, mistakes. Don't do
For
it.
my sake, of course, we have the caffeine-free things as well, just so you can have flavored water.
Oh, didn't know about that one.
Yeah.
Well, the consensus is like, some do, most don't. All right, I don't know, because I was offered like a partnership like a year ago with Rogue Energy or whatever, and I was just like, I tried their
can only
flavors.
vouch
They
for
were,
one.
they were okay. I was like, nothing of theirs like blew me away. I was like, yeah, they're okay. They're all right. It was like
can
if
only
I
vouch for
wanted
one, so.
flavor in my water, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider them energy drinks though.
No, I wouldn't either.
No.
But
Energy
the
drinks are like
caffeine-free shit's really
Bang,
good.
Red
Monster,
Bull,
yeah.
Monster,
Coffee.
Rain, yeah,
The
Ghost. Those are all energy drinks.
The
Gamer
most any
Supps
of the
and everything else. No, not really. They pretend to
they're
be.
they're
but-
more like a coffee alternative, honestly.
Yeah, it's a coffee
Yeah.
alternative.
the most that any of the powdered stuff will do will give you like a swift little kick in the nuts to start your day, but other than that, it's not like an actual like energy drink.
Mountain Dew Kickstart. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anything that can, that is. Anything that's powdered. No.
I used to love.
I'm not saying they're bad.
Rockstar
I'm just
and
saying they're
Venom.
not. You know.
Yeah, no. My rule is if I wouldn't drink it, I'm not gonna shill it, and I have way too much gamer subs behind me, so.
Well, that's why I didn't do Rogue. They didn't impress me with their flavors. I was okay because
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can actually drink these as a diabetic. But I was like, I don't know. They're blue. I was hoping for some good things from their blue raspberry, and it didn't blow me away. So I was just like, well, you know.
And then they were like caffeine-free flavors, and I went, oh, so now there's no excuse.
So it's you're basically just adding powder to your water at that point.
Yeah, you're just flavoring your water. It's fucking awesome.
But anyway,
Just get Kool-Aid in that case.
Yeah, pretty much.
I haven't tried Advanced
sugar.
GG or Gamer Supps yet, but I've heard, you know, I'm sure they're fine. Rogue was fine too. It wasn't good enough for me to be like, yeah, I would shell this.
Subs does free samples as well. You'll just pay for the shipping. It's like $5. You get like a bunch of serving packets.
That's
Yeah.
not a free sample then, is it?
Oh, shipping.
Well, you gotta pay for shipping.
Free implies no money spent on your part. If you're paying for shipping, it's not free.
You are not buying the product. You are getting the product to you.
That should be part of the free sample.
That would be very much a very loss in their pocket.
That would be a loss.
That's their problem.
That's why they're not doing it, Arcolf. Arcolf is not their target audience. This is very
No.
clear.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for letting me inquire about this. I know it was a little segue. I'm sorry. You guys aren't clowns. I take back what I said earlier.
No, I'm
Unless
clown.
you-
No, we all
Unless
are
you
clowns.
really
You just don't
want
have to.
All right. I was gonna say, unless you want to consider yourself staying in that category, that's fine by me.
Well, trust me, I always knew I was a clown.
You just don't have to bring attention to it. Everybody knows. You're fine.
But isn't that our job as friends?
Insult
What,
each
to-
other.
I like to think I own it
Constantly
at this
dunk on
point.
each other. Yes.
Look, I gotta get a good dunk in every once in a while. I'm due for one.
If it's there and gently laid out on the table, you might as well take advantage of it.
Like it's. I'm due for one. Like you're watching a cool down tick down in a game.
I am. Look, I did a good dunk on Sean yesterday during stream. I deserved
did.
another one tonight.
You did.
I've been good. I don't
You also
always
dunked
dunk.
on me on Monday.
I did?
In character, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that was just funny. And no one clipped it, my poor heart.
No, they clipped it. No, they clipped the Monday dunkening.
Oh, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
I will. You'll make me.
I watched them.
To be fair, dunking and antagonism is the essence of friendship.
Yeah.
To an extent, anyway.
If I dunk on you, it means we're good friends. If I don't dunk on you, I respect you, and I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Damn.
Yeah, there it is. Gumsy has it on the ready.
When I was told "fuck you" earlier.
Yeah.
Because I knew you could handle it.
Oh, damn right.
Because everyone in here could, like, destroy me.
We've all got dirt.
Except Caitlin. But...
Are we talking like in a fight or emotionally or?
I'll teach Caitlin the ways. That way, Caitlin is then now gonna be a
here's
weapon.
Here's the thing. I could probably do it, but you gotta catch me in a really spicy mood.
I'm
I think I've only seen you spicy like twice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach Caitlin the way of the 5 boroughs, and then everyone's fucked.
After all these years, we've all got dirt on Cheru.
Oh, you have no one gotten dirt on me.
We've all got dirt.
No.
I have no idea what I could even say that would remotely hurt you. I doubt I would even say it if I did know something to say.
The whole chat is in a fight, right?
Well, now I have to watch this clip.
Wasn't the best way to phrase it, but he just wants to encourage.
You've clearly settled.
I
Right
keep
into
that
your
thing on
sidekick
me.
role.
I love that everybody had the same fucking.
Alright, Maki roll, relax.
I don't need him to give me orders, and I don't need you to call me Maki Roll unless you want to fucking die. You think you're a protagonist? You don't think shit. I saw who was in charge of this game.
Listen,
at the
if I don't
beginning.
think...
Okay, cool, you did get it.
Yeah. I only dunk on my friends because I expect them to dunk on me back, alright? That's the way this works. Like Caitlin and her fucking C-class license to back vehicles over me.
We have a
Yay.
system.
Oh, I have that. I got it from telling a joke.
You like the
It's
feeling.
true!
Oh my god, yeah.
On my way to Disney World when I was like 7.
Yep.
The bus driver was like, I'll give something
That's
special
right.
to anyone who can answer my jokes correctly. And so he was like, what did one eyeball say to the other? And I go, ooh, something between us smells. And he looked at me and laughed and said, here you go, little girl, and gave me a bus drive, like a pass to drive a bus. And
Yeah,
I was
that's how
like,
you
I remember we
that's how
talked
you
about this in
fucking-
like the first episode
Yeah,
of Ace
that's how you
Attorney, and now
canonized
it's-
Maya. That's how you canonized
comes full
Maya
circle.
stealing the bus from the studio.
that's how you know it's a true story, because I told it twice now.
Exactly.
Not a single fact out of place.
I should
Phoenix
look
can't punch
for
a hole
it.
in that.
I still have it somewhere. I think it's in my dresser.
Phoenix, I can't be stopped. I'm beyond forklift certified. I'm school bus
That's what
I'm
Fine.
certified for
For-
forklift too, actually. Though it kind of maybe expired a couple of years ago, but
Unstoppable power.
That's what Maya actually left for. Okay. Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot.
This is just me in the starport.
Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing a crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why. Fuck.
Because it was covered in blood. I want to shake you, Judge.
The judge
That's
isn't a
normally
very
you.
bright man.
the judge is trying his best.
Also, I think he wants to see Meekins get his body again. Anyway.
Cheru collected
Listen, they were-
certifications like
they
they
were
were
just-
Infinity Stones.
They were really impressed with this cutscene. They just wanted to show it as much as possible.
They were really happy with it back then. They were like, look at this.
Oh my
There's
God,
another
there
one.
it is.
There's another one of these in the later game where they don't even let you fast forward or rewind. You just have to watch the whole thing uninterrupted, unskippable every time.
It's time for the command grab. Hold up.
No, you just don't
Oh,
see
count
it.
there.
No, right
Grab.
there. Boom.
spikes. And yeah, but then he ends
rewind
up
a little
on
bit.
the wall.
No, Meekins got command grabbed.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to rewind until we can clearly see that blood.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep. The shoulder.
Little forward.
Meekins crumpled.
He punches him with his knife hand. Hold on.
Yeah, let's really break this down. So Meekins goes for the grapple.
He's Meekins is lucky he didn't get a scar on his face or lose an eye.
So
Oh,
mysterious.
he had his left hand in the way. That's
Yeah,
where
mysterious man. He texts the grab. He texts the grab attempt.
Yeah, he takes the grab attempt, punch with the knife hand.
I see they did not have facial expressions.
Meekins
down for this
recoils.
That's why they don't show
Well,
him.
he was in hit stun. He was hit stunned.
Yeah.
Goes back in.
Grabs the shoulder.
Yeah, another grab attempt.
And then here's like,
here's the
here's the
slam.
command grab.
Command grab. Meekins wall bounces.
Yep. Real MVC3 shit.
Yeah.
And then Mystery Man drops
Then
level 3.
he holds his hands up, and then he goes in with the fucking knife.
This is what happens when you play a rushdown character.
Yeah, that's him. He's playing Dante from MVC3. He just dropped the level 3 in that last animation right there.
I still have to give him props. He decided to fight a man with a knife. He was like, fuck it, let's go.
He has a megaphone, bro. Yeah, right?
Well, Meekins is carrying a baton.
Yeah, the last frame is just level 3 drop.
But he wiped his hand on his shoulder.
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white coat.
You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have had to be here now would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court about what you did. All of it.
Poor Edgeworth. Everyone's like sandbagging him constantly.
I hate that prosecutor almost as much as I hate the judge's beard. All right. Seems the time has come.
Goodbye.
I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by to let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
So the supposed victim was really you.
Sure.
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be?
Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
It was way too much blood for such a small donation.
like stuck pigs.
I had to do it that day. I
He
couldn't
had to
just
do it
stand
to
by and
him.
let it die. I had to do it to him, partner.
When you say it, you mean...
Do you even have to ask, partner?
Yes, that is my entire job. The SL9 incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day.
Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I plan to take out the evidence.
Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
So you did it to fool the security camera?
In a detective's ID?
I stole that the morning of the incident.
So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. Okay.
So, essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
I know what you thought. No.
What do you mean, partner?
I heard the snort.
No. The thought you didn't. It is not what I think you think I'm thinking. I giggled because he just called him stupid.
I feel like I'm missing context.
You will not put words in my brain. Lack of Fortnite.
Yeah. Damn, I want to play so badly right now.
Well, then we get through this case and we'll do it after.
Yeah, you got plenty of time. Oh, excuse me.
And you in chat can't see it. You don't get to watch.
I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Unless you're Yanni Yogi. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the lock before Officer Marshall.
I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out.
You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off?
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins. Certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for the intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
There it is. When did Edgeworth get so much influence?
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
He's been showing it the whole time.
Yeah. How did he get that into the room?
Hold on.
Who let him do that?
I don't know
And
what.
Arcolf, no, I'm not
started-
going back. I'm not going back for it. Don't.
No. I'm just saying. I already went down this rabbit hole. That knife he's holding is not the same knife that was in the video.
No, because
I
his
know, I know,
guard,
that's
the
why I
hilt,
said
the
I'm not
blade are
going-
completely different.
Yes.
Not to
Why
worry,
they
I
let
have
him
a
bring
permit.
it in?
I already compared them.
Oh god damn it.
He boofed the knife, bro. He boofed it.
Am I rereading this?
Yes.
No, it's okay.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out and...
And managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera.
So you did your research beforehand?
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
He slices his own neck by accident while shaving.
However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? He was on the floor.
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day,
There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker.
Actually, no, I didn't.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
what? Mr. Urgeworth, where's that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is that he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened? What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files. So we winged the files at him because his brother was involved.
I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
Wing the files at him.
All 20 booklets at him.
I will go one by one and throw them at the witness stand. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here.
Hmm?
In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor? I was a prospector.
It's the accent getting to you, partner.
Oh, you have Western on the brain.
He just shows up with a pickaxe.
I look for gold.
What a
I'm here to
weird question.
stake my claim.
Is there any good cowboy animes? And I'm not like talking cowboy. I mean like actually Western.
Outlaw Star is probably the closest I can think of.
Yeah, that's
Outlaw
close
Star
to
is sci-fi western.
Well,
but that's still
a lot of
Western.
it, a lot of it's sci-fi western, and a lot of people would have given you the answer of Trigun before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there is an anime I can't hold up, I have to look it up.
Straight cowboy, no sci-fi. I don't know, but like sci-fi cowboy stuff, Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Trigun.
Yeah.
Like the original Trigun's really good for that western feel.
Yeah. The newer one leans more into the sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It was good. Very good.
Damn, Midnight caught me red-handed. No, it was a good answer. I mean, yeah. I wasn't sure because I was just like sitting here like, oh.
Oh, yeah, here's one I remember. Gun. It's called Gun and X Sword.
Oh yeah, Gun Sword.
Yeah, I forgot about Gun Sword.
And that's sci-fi mech leaning.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
damn
closest
it.
I can get because they kind of dress like cowboys.
Hate mechs.
Said the mech word
Has
was
a
uttered, and I
really
felt Cheru.
good-
Yeah, I instantly went like, oh, I'm about to search it up. I'm interested to. Ugh, never mind.
It has a really good insert song with the Eldora 5, though. Like, that whole episode was great. Bracky would like that.
Just
show it to him sometime.
I was about to say Magical Mall, but it's like a mixture of things.
There's El Cazador de la Bruja.
What?
Yeah, that was also the one I was thinking of. I just couldn't fucking say the name.
Early Rains, it's a 45-minute show, and it's about a train robbery with the highlight being CGI train with cell animation. Ooh. Gotta write that down.
Isn't Gungrave one?
Gungrave's its own thing.
Gungrave is like weird sci-fi mafia, not really cowboy.
It's
really good though.
I wanted to say there was like an episode or two of Bakano, but that doesn't count.
No, I just rewatched Bakano. Still is great, but that's not really
anime.
Okay.
That's not really a cowboy thing. But you should watch it anyway because it rules.
Okay.
Oh, I think I actually found one. It's just straight up. It's called Gun Frontier.
Apparently, there was a Wild Arms anime.
Yeah.
There was a manga that was really Western, but it never got turned into an anime, and I'm mad about it, called Etc. That one fucks really hard, but no one knows about it.
There's. Did someone already say Gun Frontier?
Yeah, I just did.
That's apparently the highest rated one I'm finding.
Yeah, and it's an alternate version of something of a space pirate of Captain Hernlock, and they just put him in the West.
Space Captain Harlock is instead just a regular sea captain that gave up his boat for pistols.
Instead of a futuristic one with explorers. Yeah, that's all I can find is Gun Frontier. Everything else I think of has like fantasy and mixing and crap in it.
Oh, that looks really familiar.
Like, here's a short list.
The same one that Luke posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very small thing, which is why the first
Yeah.
3 that came up were just like, yeah, these.
Okay. I was wondering. It's like
There's
they haven't
good
done
stuff.
it yet. Why? It's right there. It's just sitting there.
It's a niche within a niche, unfortunately, for
But-
Japanese audiences.
But it's one of those things that you're also just like, anime has done all this other wild ass shit. Why is
Yeah.
it like not this specific thing? Like, I
Why
understand
is
where
it?
Cher's
Why
coming
is
from.
it always fantasy and knights and all that garbage, but never a western?
I mean, there's a post-apocalyptic one called Desert Punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
I'm pretty sure they did
It's
like a lot-
kinda, but not really, but kinda, but not really, but kinda.
I'm pretty sure they
You
did
know-
a lot of things, but it's just like they probably get the notoriety like things like Bleach and all that.
There's also something called Coyote Ragtime Show that mixes sci-fi with Western.
I was
It's
gonna
always
say
sci-fi
JoJo Part 7.
No.
You tell me I'm fucking wrong though.
You're not wrong, but no.
Yeah, no.
It's tangential at best.
You are in the category of you are correct, but no.
All right, I'm satisfied.
Okay. I was about to say, I'm ready to read whatever, but we
Yep.
kept going. He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Papoose is
King
angry.
Prospectors.
Wait, what?
He said I said JoJo, but I knew it was iffy.
Yeah.
I saw it earlier, yeah.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
Oh boy.
That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
What's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. Bargain bin Mark Hamill from the looks of it. My brother fought Dark and was killed.
The antithesis of Joe Dirt.
That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now that we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day of the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day.
Bleh.
The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's gotta be more than just that.
If so, no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime. That means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Ugh.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But
there was only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
Seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All of the mysteries of the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable.
After all the work we had to do.
If you have a response, make it a single word or less. I rest my case.
Fuck you!
Tee-hee.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no more room for doubt.
Emma!
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time.
Ooh, we officially made it past the halfway point.
Yay!
Yep.
Da-da-da! Disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
This is a long one.
Yep.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true.
Are you guys ready for where was he murdered at the same time, exactly at the same time as a crime happening? Part 2.
Yay!
He was also murdered in the park.
Murdered
By the
in the
hot
car.
dog stand?
There's just more murders we didn't learn about. It's just these two. And just scattered around the city, like just fucking like a scavenger hunt. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Let's wait!
Eh?
There's more!
I know.
Your Honor! Wait!
Emma!
The defense has an objection! A scientific objection! Right?
What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright. Are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor? Oh, in a sense.
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time! Oh, come on, please, you have to hear me out! Mr. Edgeworth, please!
Puppy dogs.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
Softy.
The puppy dog eyes are super effective.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So, I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again.
You ran all the... Whoa, child. So, did you find something?
No.
What? Emma? Huh?
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Been watching too much Forensic Files, maybe?
Wait. I think I just had a brain blast.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue that we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Oh, come on, please, Mr. Wright. You're a professional.
I am not. I cannot wear every single hat at all points.
Yes, you can. I've watched TF2. I'm going to ignore Arcolf. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy.
I'm allowed to use my brain on Thursdays.
Apparently not, Mr. Arcolf, because time is up. Now then, Mr. Wright, put on all these hats.
No, I don't want to wear the Tower of Hats. I can't do everything.
Wrong again, Mr. Wright. It's the modest Tower of Hats. The Tower of Hats has a stranger fixes in the case.
You know how long it takes to get my hair like this? I can't wear a hat.
Just for that, you get the Ghostly Gibbous, the Halloween event hat.
The Ghostly Gibbous!
With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
Yes.
Just the meek. Yes.
It appears the defense is troubled by another blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright. Is there a man crying in the jury?
I don't know, but I've heard some screams of anguish behind me.
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be more of use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now.
It's time for Hangman's Gambit.
Nah. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is that you're grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intensely at the floor plans. Tell me, no problem with them?
Yes, this is strange.
Give it a minute, Arcolf. Hold on.
Take a good look at these floor plans. something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
What?
Opens
I know you were about to end the stream there just to hurt me.
It would have been funny.
No, apparently. So I use I play on a keyboard with the mouse. By the way, everyone. Hooray! I know. Use a controller, bitch. I don't. So when I use the mouse and I accidentally put it, you can't see my mouse currently, but if I put it over options or court record there, it opens them. So if I misclick and I'm like confused, I'm like, that's why. I could end the stream there.
It'd be really funny if you did.
Let us pray she doesn't end the stream early. Please, the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this, with all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use.
Question is, which item can prove something's missing in the floor plans?
All right, Arcolf.
Boy.
The blue badger was in front of Gumshoe's locker in the video.
I knew you had it.
Which means the blood print was there before Marshall.
Yeah.
Which means I was right about Goodman being attacked in the evidence room, being stuffed into Edgeworth's locker, and then driven to the actual scene of thing. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll shut up.
No, you can't. No, you're fine. I was just like, hold yourself. Let's get to the right moment. There you are. That was the moment.
Don't jump
You're
the
good.
gun.
No, he's okay. He's allowed to use his brain.
No, he's allowed to use his
Exposit.
brain. Just gotta wait to use it.
That's why I said I'll hold him.
There's
That's why
a cooldown timer, Arcolf.
Yeah, that's why there was someone crying in the jury.
Is that dude drinking on the stand? The first thing he did when he walked in here was upturn it.
Yep.
Yeah, he
that?
literally walked in and went, "Hi."
Hello, drink.
He saw Meekins. And went, "I'm not sober enough for this. I'm not drunk enough for this."
I'm three deep by the time I get into work, partner.
Cheru, I heard that. Are you okay?
Did it go up your nose?
It's my day to it's my day to spill things. I'm so sorry. Do you hear that?
No. My God, woman.
What happened?
I spilled Bang Energy drink on the microphone.
Oh.
All right, let me get a Cheru salute in the chat.
All right, there's so
Cheru
much foam
salutes.
padding on it. I think I'm fine.
I heard the I'm gasping, but my face is full of drink.
No, I didn't get any drink really in my
What?
mouth. That's why I was like, huh?
Ah.
It avoided my face and flew out onto the microphone instead. There
The
was
microphone was thirsty.
There's not a lot in the can, but it's still a lot to be like, oh no.
Keep the salutes coming, everyone.
Weekend with the Goodmans.
Weekend at Goodman's.
The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth. Guardian of proof.
Shut the fuck up.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
I'm getting there. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
So,
watch what happens when you put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well,
what?
Edgeworth. That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing there, or here, right there, where I'm pointing, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
What?
He had his life points attacked directly. Holy shit.
He turned into a Kira.
So that means Just a second, what does that mean?
It means it can't be done!
What are you saying? Blood traces was undeniably found on that locker.
Yes! Don't look at me! Oh god.
I didn't put it there.
Don't look at me, I didn't put it there!
Mr. Wright, think about it through scientifically. Pretend you were on forensic files, okay?
The order of operations, Emma. I need PEMDAS.
PEMDAS, idiot!
Emma.
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Boo Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So, that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in?
Just one moment. I would not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my court.
What? When did you... Arcolf?
Huh?
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor.
I do.
I think the balderdash word thrown.
Oh.
Why is Arcolf catching strays?
He just went from being explained to old-timey English-y words.
It's not that old. It's just another word for nonsense!
Balderdash is quite old, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's used a lot in the South, though.
Oh, well then I have some bad news for the South.
Doesn't
Well, that sounds
mean
like a
it's
lot of
not
poppycock.
old.
Does it mean what,
Oh.
Caitlin?
So it doesn't mean it's not old.
Yeah,
fuck.
it's an old word.
It's fine. I like balderdash.
Here, hold on,
It
I
makes-
got you. It is from the 1590s as an obscure origin, but then used much more frequently in the 1670s.
It got a little bit more popularized when it became a board game. too,
Yeah.
So, but
Balderdash is an old poppycock.
telling us your age without telling us your age? No, Arcolf's a fucking
That's right.
liar. which
Arcolf is
the part-
300.
That's why we always are like, wait, no, hold on, Arcolf. We'll brush you up.
I'm a what?
Immortal wizard.
Here you go, Arcolf. Enjoy the etymology of balderdash so you can see how old you truly are.
No, it's fine.
It was just a joke because the judge went from doing whatever to being old-fashioned E words. Sorry.
Like I said, if Arcol's immortal, can I have it? I won't live long enough to punch an alien.
That also says it's old. However, it was used in Dave the Barbarian.
The court of public opinion has spoken.
Very
I just heard it a lot growing up.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's used a lot down here.
That's when I say I have bad news for the South.
Mm-hmm.
The court of public opinion has spoken. You're old.
I'm so very glad that both Punk and Goomba are in the South too. They can back up my shit.
Goomba's the most South
Punk's
out
not
of all
here.
of you, which I think is hilarious.
I am literally in the spot where everything you think of the South. I get Southern jokes and black jokes. I get hit both sides. I get comboed.
I'm so sorry.
You get two-pieced.
Fuck.
The South has been trying to pull things back into the 17th century, so it checks out.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Rip.
Like y'all say the Bible Belt, I am the buckle.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor.
I like your accent though.
But it's the only possible explanation.
You're putting that in quotes.
On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time.
Yes, it's gonna wait for it. There we go.
They'll show Meekins on the floor.
Meekins dead. Wasted.
Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur?
You have the ID card records.
Yes, we do.
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshalls, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in the evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well, tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edwards says, proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence?
Slide the timesheet.
What shows when the first crime took place?
Where's my timesheet?
Yeah.
We'll check it again. Yeah.
Is this what we feel comfortable with?
Yeah.
That's the only way we can find somebody that's been in there before.
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card. Oh, the ID card record.
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at...
Let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be...
Edgeworth. Fucking Edgeworth.
Edgeworth did it!
4:40 p.m.
10 minutes would not have been enough time to clean up before Meekins got there, so it has to be that top number.
Yes.
Try your screen
oh.
again.
Oh, hold up. Maybe because I got that... Oh!
No, don't do it like that! Don't do
Hold
it
up, I have
like
to turn
that!
up... This cord is blocking the thing. 2 seconds. Wait, is it an echo cancellation?
Yeah, it'd be
Oh! Is that better?
good enough.
Yeah.
Because fucking Discord stops when I get too high. Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done?
And I believe I have a good guess as to who the All Sevens is.
It's not that hard of a guess. There's not many
No.
people involved in this.
It was Angel!
I'm just saying!
Bitch.
Wait, do I need to read it again?
I can hear again. I missed anything anyone said for the past minute.
Do I need to read this again?
No, chat could hear it, not me.
Okay.
Don't ask how that one works.
Weird.
Did you hear me say, oh, where'd the sound go?
No, because you probably
No.
cut out. Oh, she did?
I heard you say that, yes.
It went completely silent on my end.
We were all
Wow.
busy going,
If Chad could hear it.
ma.
If Chad could hear it and you couldn't hear it, it's probably your headphones.
Yeah. It's something to do with my something.
Test.
Don't
I
worry.
never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it. I admit I don't do a lot of thought.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
Sorry, now my brain is short-circuiting. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry away his body, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
We got a confession, everyone. He's guilty.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edwards entered the evidence room.
Let's look at the chart again. And not throw everything at Edgeworth.
Lucky number 7.
The only other card number remaining. 777, 7777.
Talk about a lucky number.
Wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Walked in with him.
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 777, 7777.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is, oh god, 777 77777.
Bro, this is just the prequel to 999.
That's
Can I
17. That's
Oh, go
1
ahead.
7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present.
What?
Explain yourself, son.
Why are you still here? The ID number 777-7777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher.
The Midnight and I are correct.
Yes.
What?
Someone who is a so-called executive officer.
Oh, it was while you weren't able to hear us.
No!
Midnight and I didn't say anything out loud, but we said
No.
we have a good idea of who it is.
Yes.
We never said a
I
name.
can't hear anything.
I knew all along.
Shut up, mayonnaise backpack.
I didn't hear that either. Cursed.
We don't have the authority to inquire into that person's identity.
But that's ridiculous. Just how...
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against the executive is accepted.
An official charge?
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question.
Yes?
No, not to you. To her. Defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana?
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 777-7777.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SL9 incident?
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
If you're speaking
I heard
Caitlin,
him
it's coming
fine.
out. Oh.
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we...
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did.
Lana?
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. Before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant! Just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana!
Even if it involved forging evidence.
Why is this such a shock? Karma did it for fucking years.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
Doesn't make it right, Arcolf.
She's the first one to openly admit it.
Yeah.
No! No!
Order! Order! Order!
Much like The Simpsons did it, Von Karma did it first.
Also, she's chief prosecutor, so a little bit more gravity in the situation.
Yeah, she's higher than Von Karma.
Man, this is a long one.
Yeah. As I said, we just hit the halfway
Yeah, this is
point.
just the halfway point.
Yeah.
Halfway there.
There's a lot in this one.
Square, we're on a
Save your fucking game.
And then it's gonna go into the menu and I'll have to be like, no, look! Ready?
I'm not looking.
My eyes are perceiving.
I'm covering 12 p.m. Right in code law.
Covering everything. Covering everything.
Oh my
I hear
god.
nothing.
The screaming.
I was ready to read immediately.
No. How dare you? How dare you?
Whoa.
I'm used to reading my lines the moment they appear. I don't delay like some people do.
Damn!
Whoa!
I'm reading them as they appear, my dude.
Down.
Arcolf shooting at everybody. Fuck.
In my defense, I couldn't read that 7. I was literally pointing at my screen, counting the 7s.
It was 8.
I think I got like 6 in. Oh, that was hurting my eyes.
You know what? I don't feel bad about making fun of your beard anymore.
I'm fine with that.
You know, other people in
I
this call
can't say
have beards.
anything that I haven't said worse to myself already.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and you need
can't
not
hurt me in a way that matters.
All I know is Arcolf isn't calling me out because I read my lines properly on time because I'm paying attention to the game because I have to click
All
it.
right, listen. Maybe
Yeah?
you fucking get the information like a nanosecond faster than us because maybe you're the one that's actually seeing it, and not
I
being
don't know, I don't
broadcast
know.
through a Discord call.
The amount of times I've heard, "Oh right, that's me," from Cheru.
I have no horse in this race. I did fucked up because I was eating and drinking. I accept my fault. Bringing them at me.
All right,
We're all guilty. We're all guilty.
let's go down the line. Arcolf, where can they find you?
Find me on twitch.tv/Arcolf whenever I have time to stream.
All right. Connor, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.com/DistortionDevil, where I stream Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Streaming schedule is going to be dubious this week because there's a lot of stuff that I've got going on.
Yeah, I get that. Caitlin, where can they find you?
Well, I'm CaitlinC37. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter, CaitlinC37, where I do art. Commissions are open, so if anybody would like any paintings, just let me know. We find us up there.
Luke, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Cyberlink420. Subscribe to my podcast, The Hill is Always Greener. Tomorrow's episode is going to be a deep dive on the character of Dr. Eggman. I'm also an admin for the Transformers Wiki, so if you want to learn about how every single animation error ever is actually a temporary anomaly in the space-time continuum, you can find that and more at tfwiki.net.
There's a reminder here. Midnight, go water your flowers in a minute.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Goomba, where can they find you?
Mostly here being an idiot and in your garden, reminding you to water your fucking plants the soil's dry. Midnight.
I got it. It's Mom's flowers. She just wants me to take care of them.
Midnight, where can they find you?
Midnight_Kai, Twitch and Twitter. I see Cheru has links for everybody that is here, so that'll make it easier. Just click that and hit follow on everybody. It's great. Streaming Saturday afternoons mostly right now because it's one of the only real times that I have free. Doing all sorts of stuff. Have cool things planned. That's it.
And Sean, where can they find you?
Hi everyone, like Midnight said, you can click on my name there at TrashKingArisen on Twitch and TrashKingSean on Twitter. And I'm currently planning an uncapped subathon because I have 16 cents. Yeah. So we're going to figure that out, and I'm going to figure out how to juggle my live dub responsibilities on top of that in case time goes forever. It'll probably be after a Monday, that way my Shuichi duties are tucked away for the week.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out, but follow me, and I post memes. I'm pretty funny sometimes.
And for me, we have Among Us tomorrow. It's the first Friday of the month, so it'll be Among Us. We'll be doing Among Us.
Right.
Yep.
Among Us.
That's a reminder for everyone in call. Tomorrow,
Yep.
9 Eastern. I'm gonna send you guys off to Monty. She's doing D&D. She has a couple of our friends in there.
She's about to end.
Too late. I'm raiding. I'm not changing my mind. Our raid can go into her raid. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. No raid message. Just enjoy your night. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Don't
Good
look in the
night.
corner.